Welcome Transformer fans, my name is Composite Enerjoe and today I'll be bringing you my review of the Transformers, War for Cybertron, Siege, Battlemasters. So yeah, these are the Battlemasters, which are the other sort of, what's it called? Small figure gimmicks. The small figures is part of the Siege, the other ones being Micromasters, and these guys, the Battlemasters, which as you can see are quite bigger than the Micromasters. However, these are sold individually and not in double packs like the Micromasters. And yeah, so here they are. So here we have, on my left is Lionizer, which is kind of a missed opportunity to call him Leonizer because I think that has a nicer ring to it. But yeah, here is Lionizer in his Cybertronian lion mode. I guess that's what it's called. And it's very nicely detailed. It's pretty cool. And in terms of articulation, each limb is on a ball joint. And that's about it. Yeah, that's it. His 4 limbs are on ball joints, so ball joints do what ball joints do. And then over here we have Firedrive, who is a pretty neat has a pretty neat looking little robot. And same thing, each of his limbs are on a ball joint. And that's it. Ball joints do what ball joints do. So nothing too special there in terms of articulation. Although his face is, the molding's okay. It's okay. What I like is that his eyes are actually painted, which is impressive for something this tiny. I mean, more impressive is that he has a tiny Autobot symbol on both of their heads. Very tiny, but they are legible, so very cool. Now, Battlemasters, unlike Micromasters, only have their 2 modes. I guess their walking around mode. I can't say robot mode because this is a beast mode. So we have Lionizer's beast mode and Firedrive's robot mode. And then they turn into weapons. And that's it. Because Micromasters had their robot mode, their alt modes. And then they combine into a weapon. These guys just go from robot or beast mode in Lionizer's case, and then into their weapon modes. And that's it. So to get into their weapon modes, let's go into Lionizer first, since he's, I think, slightly easier than this guy. Or at least I want to do, because he turns into a sword. So you just pull that out, fold that forward. And then for this part, you have to angle these like so. Fold around, and then connect them there. And then this will connect in there. It's small, but there's notches for these things. And fold it back. Same thing in the notch. And there we go. Here we have Lionizer in his sword mode. And this is referred to as the Fire Steel Saber. Pretty cool. So there it is. And then Firedrive here turns into a sort of a handheld cannon. For this, you just connect the legs, fold out the barrels, and then you sort of his waist can fold forward, and you connect the toes to these little notches for these notches here on the barrels, and then this you just connect there. And honestly, Firedrive's weapon mode is not that impressive. Because it just looks like a what's it called? Come on. Hold on. I'm supposed to fold this more forward. There we go. Make sure you fold that all the way forward and fold this. And this should just slot in there. There we go. There we go. Make sure the waist is folded forward. And then here we have Firedrive in his weapon mode, which is I think this is called a photon cannon. So we have a Fire Steel Saber and a photon cannon. I think the names are slightly longer, but I can't remember the full names. And I'm not gonna lie, Firedrive is not impressive. It just, honestly, it looks exactly how with the transformation, you just sort of fold the guy in half and then just sort of pull out the barrels. It's okay. It's not that impressive in my opinion. It's okay. The sword is actually much more impressive because unless you look carefully and you notice that these resemble legs, this honestly doesn't look like the what's the word? Lionizer sort of folded up. It is, but it hides it better than Firedrive here. Now these guys don't come by themselves. They are sold separately, but in terms of extra accessories, they come with these things called, these are effect parts, but they refer to them as fire blasts. And these things can be attached to their weapon modes to sort of simulate different effects. These two go with a fire drive here. And what you do is that you just plug them at the end of the barrels to simulate blaster fire. So, looks like he's firing. This is a very, very cool gimmick. I actually really like this. And for this guy, as you can tell, this is supposed to emulate a slashing effect, which you just plug here on the back side of the sword. So now it has a slashing effect. Very cool. And to do a size comparison, let's bring in our buddy Ratchet. Well, here's Ratchet with his quarter, Firedrive, and Lionizer in their weapon modes. And now to test them out, let's bring in our good buddy, Unarmored Ultra Magnus. And let's suit him up. Weirdly enough, in the instructions, it would say that it shows a transformer holding this weapon on this peg, like this, but looks really weird. It's supposed to be like this. So we have a fire drive in the left hand, and then, well, Lionizer in his right. And there we go. And I say this is really neat. I like the Battlemasters. I think I like the Battlemasters a little bit more, only because they're a little bit bigger, and they come with effect parts. Which I didn't mention this before in his review, but the Siege figures have a bunch of little pegs on them, pegs riddled around the body, and what that is supposed to do is it's compatible with these fire blasts effect parts of the other figures in order to simulate either firing or taking damage. To show it off, let's say you plug this here, and it looks like that. The idea is that he got shot in the leg, so this is sort of this is supposed to emulate an explosion or like taking damage. So now it looks like he got shot in the leg, shot in the shoulder, and got slashed in the other shoulder. Or if they happen to have like onboard weapons. Oh, and I even tried it out. These are also compatible. They're also compatible with since he's the only one I have, Ultra Magnus's weapons. You can actually plug these in the barrels of the other weapons and they work. So yeah, and then you just plug this on the side, so it looks like he's getting slashed, or it's an explosion, or what have you. But yeah, I think that's a really neat idea. I like these effect parts, although I honestly would be using them more to simulate either firing, or in the case of swords, of melee weapons, slashing. But still, it is neat how they're using that. So yeah, it's really cool. I like the concept of the Battlemasters. And I would honestly say pick up Battlemasters over Micromasters, because not only do I think the figures are a little better because they're a little bit bigger, these effect parts I find are much more... I think they're fun. I think these are more fun than having the two Micromasters combined into a bigger weapon, since that weapon is about the size of these things. So it's like... Unless you really like the Micromasters, but honestly, I find them not that great. Like I said, I think in that review, my favorite was the one I got, which was Flak and Top Shot. However, the Battlemasters, I think, are worth getting if you want to get them, mainly for the effect parts. The figures themselves are pretty good, but I do like that they come with these little effect parts, so that you can, show off. It's a nice change of pace that they're going for here. I like it. I recommend it. So yeah, these guys, I like them. I would say that Lionizer I like a little bit more than Firedrive because, again, when they go in their weapon modes, he hides his beast mode better than he hides his robot mode. This guy just looks like you just fold him in half, and that's it. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers, War for Cybertron, Siege, Battlemasters, Lionizer, and Firedrive. And I like them both. They're cool. This is Composite Enerjoe signing off. Peace out.